Welcome to WYCE's Community Closeup, our weekly public affairs program. Produced in partnership with the Grand Rapids Community Media Center, we are here inside the JRTV studios at the Grand Rapids Community Media Center. Community Closeup brings you a diverse perspective from community leaders and organizations throughout West Michigan. And it's WYCE Station Manager Phil Tower with you once again, and it is a pleasure to welcome back to the program. He's a return guest, and there's a lot to talk about. Steve Tibby is Director of Operations with Fans of Valley Field. Your partner in crime, who's with you in every social media post I see, Paul Sotiziak, was not able to be here because he had a little medical thing going on. But Paul, if you're watching this at home, we hope you are fully well and fully healed. It's good to see you. You're always on the run. You're having a busy summer. I take it.
Yeah. We had construction going at the park, so I decided to stay busy and get involved with other things. So, like, we just had this live fire event, cooking event at Rosa Park Circle, yep. And after this, I'm heading to help set up for Foodie Fest.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. Every time I see Valley Field, I mean, it's super exciting. First and foremost, congratulations. You guys have you've hit your campaign goal and exceeded it. $5.75 million raised from over 1,600 donors, companies, foundations, organizations. We're going to shout out a couple of important people here in just a bit. The B. Aldrink Idema Foundation and also the Versluis family. I want to have you talk a little bit about them because I know that they were two major contributors. Was there a point in this, Steve Tibby, where you guys were like, I don't know if we're going to make it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's been a long 4 or 5 year journey.
Yeah.
And for a while, we were pulling things out of the project. And most projects, you built it to the biggest thing that you want and then whittle it down from there. So with the Idema Family Foundation match grant, we were able to start putting things back in, like a new stage and a pavilion for concerts, and batting cages were able to be added. So we're still trying to fine tune the budget and see what we can make happen.
What is this response from your donors in the community here in West Michigan? I mean, I know it's a lot to process. What does that tell you about West Michigan and this special place?
It makes me love it even more. Like, I don't know if I can repeat this, but I think we could in this town. This park means a lot to so many people, and we've had a really good team of all volunteers come through. But the support, the financial support, the volunteer hours, all that just makes me realize that community is alive and well.
It's so uniquely Grand Rapids, and it's so uniquely West Side, and I love the stories, which, by the way, I want to put a plug in. You guys do some incredible social media. If you're not following Fans of Valley Field on social media, you're missing out because it's just some great storytelling, including some historic interviews with players connected with the Negro Leagues, mm-hmm. and just you guys do a really fantastic job. I don't know what awards you could enter that stuff in, mm-hmm. but you should, Steve. It's really good.
I think we Daniela from Main Feed Marketing helps with our social media, and I think she won an award at the Addies last year for her community.
Daniela deserves an award, so yes. I will shout her out on this program over WYCE. You have your hands very full, but the construction is going on a day-to-day basis. Are you pretty much hands off, or do you got to look at things in terms of, do you want this color concrete? I mean, how day-to-day is it for you?
Those little details were all kind of ironed out. We meet weekly still, and then I'll go by the site to meet with Jan. He's the site supervisor. He's great. I'll just check in with him every other day or so, or a couple times a week. So it's not fully hands-on like it has been because everything's been put in motion, and over the years of the planning, we were able to knock all that out.
What is the hope for open date? I'm assuming it's sometime in 2027. You're going to have a stage and a picnic pavilion area. You're planning live music for next year?
Yeah. We want to have it'll be the 90th year of this park, so we want to have a grand reopening. And we want to make the whole event series free for the community. So we're trying to keep raising money for that. But yeah, we're planning, construction should be done this year, and I think October was the rough month. So I think even if there are some setbacks, this year is still a comfortable timeline. April was probably when we'll kick off. We'll do a Jackie Robinson Day game. We did that a couple years ago, and it was a hit. Then the field got tore up, so we're happy to bring that back. And live music, community events, chili cook-off as always.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that. The chili cook-off, by the way, is scheduled for September 26th. I was reading there are like a number of teams, like it's 4 or 5 different teams, organizations that will be playing at the ball field when it opens up again.
Yeah, it's Union High School's home field, and then there's a wooden bat league. The International League does a triple header there on Sundays, or they used to. I think they're excited to get back. And then there's a men's 40 and over league. We're looking about bringing a Northwoods Ball League potentially, and a professional women's league that just opened up this year. So we'd be their 7th or 8th city.
Are you going to have a ceremonial first pitch or a bunch of ceremonial first pitches next year?
We'll have a few of those, I'm assuming, but don't know who the first one will be just yet.
Steve Tibby is with us here on WYCE's Community Closeup, Director of Operations with Fans of Valley Field. The website is fansofvalleyfield.org. And again, if you want to be sure you're following them on social media, Fans of Valley Field. There was a brick campaign that was going on. It was a big push last year in 2025. What's the status of that as we are having this conversation on the radio in mid to late July when this is airing on WYCE? What should people know about the brick campaign? Are they too late? Can they get involved? What's the deal?
Well, there's always hope, but we do have the first round closed because we sent the names to the engravers. So that's kind of a process. So they're working on those currently. We should have those back within, I'd say, like 4 weeks. And then during, depending on the construction timeline, they'll have bricklayers go out and have it in the new pavilion area where we'll have the donor wall.
The chili cook-off is one thing that will happen at the ballpark location. Although I was reading, it's actually going to happen in the street right adjacent to that kind of the third baseline, right?
Well, we're still working pretty closely with the Office of Special Events to figure out. It'll be in the road, so it'll be an old block party like they used to do at Cottage Bar. But I think there'll be pros and cons of that. Like not having the grass will be sad, but I think it'll be a lot easier for teams to load in and load out. But
sure,
we're still trying to figure out where on the road. We plan on having live music, kind of like everything we've done. It's just going to be rolling with the punches and figuring out how to pull it off.
When the ballpark is done, this is radio, and we're doing video here on GRTV. So if you're watching us on YouTube or GRTV, we don't have great visuals, but let's talk about, well, other than Steve and me, let's talk about the grandstands. They are kind of the centerpiece. I mean, the whole ballpark, especially with some of the visual, the drone shots you've had video-wise, they're amazing. Let's talk about the grandstands, though. They're kind of one of the focal points for it's Sullivan Field, right?
Yes, yeah. In the 90s, it got changed to Sullivan Field, but Valley Field is still alive and well in people's hearts. So we kind of figure out how to navigate that. The grandstands are unique in their own way, and they become iconic. Paul will say, and I think he's right, it's one of the last wooden grandstands in the country. A lot of them got burnt down just because old wood and things happen. But we've worked hard to restore it to, with the new engineering details, we had to add some bracing and stuff, but we're trying to keep that iconic, pennant triangle look going. Mm-hmm. And we're excited to have a new VIP seating area, a museum, all encapsulated within that grandstand, and we'll have some storage on site. So it should be a lot for the community.
Steve Tibby is with us, Director of Operations with Fans of Valley Field. Again, the website is fansofvalleyfield.org, fansofvalleyfield.org. I want to talk about the chili cook-off because this is a time where people should be thinking about attending the event. I know there are a lot of questions still to be had, but there is a website that people can visit to learn more about the chili cook-off. Ballpark Chili Cook-Off, I think is what it
Ballpark
is.
Chili.
Ballparkchili.com. And it will happen this year. And I will tell you from firsthand experience, we were there last year. We had a Grand Rapids Community Media Center team. We had a lot of fun. We didn't win any prizes, but I will tell you, people go all in. It was pretty impressive, Steve.
Yeah.
It was really impressive. The music, there's live music. It was really a lot of fun. You have at Valley Field you are going to build in a new museum to honor Grand Rapids baseball history, which is really cool. You are actually kind of crowdsourcing items from the community. You want stuff there. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, we've had a lot of people come donate some really cool memorabilia. We've gotten vintage jerseys of teams that used to play there. We got Bob Sullivan's signed contract with the Detroit Tigers when he was a scout. Few baseballs that have been signed, and bats and pennants and all these kind of unique old things from the 30s, 40s, 50s in the baseball era. So we're excited to partner with the public museum. So we have a formal partnership where they will actually house and archive all of our things, because there's a lot into it that we didn't know, and we don't want to ruin any of the stuff through the passage of time. So we'll partner with them, and we'll rotate things out of their storage into the museum, so it's always kind of fresh and something new to look at when you come by the park.
How will that work in terms of if there's nothing going on at Valley Field, but people want to visit the museum? Do you anticipate that'll have special set-aside hours, Steve? How do you guys think that's going to work?
The plan currently is we're all being volunteer. We probably won't have staff on site, so it would be open for events, so baseball games and community events. That's when people would be able to walk through it. But we'll have like a full glass wall so people can look into it.
Cool.
But yeah, when we're there on site, we'll have someone in the museum to answer questions and kind of make sure everything goes well.
It might be a perfect time to shout out someone on the radio here on WYCE saying, "Hey, we need a bunch of volunteers to run this thing." Again, fans of Valleyfield.org, fansofvalleyfield.org. And the public museum, do you anticipate that they might do some kind of an exhibit, or right now they're just holding your stuff for you?
We have an exhibit at the public museum that opened about December of last year, so it'll be up there. Yeah.
Okay, great. So people can still see that at the Grand Rapids Public Museum. Steve Tibby is Director of Operations for Fans of Valley Field. We've covered a lot of ground. Is there anything I didn't ask you that our listeners should know about in terms of what you're working on, what's coming up? There's just so much going on.
Yeah, we're staying involved in the community. Our group of volunteers, it's kind of like a social club now. So we try to stay involved with other things. Like we did the St. Patrick's Day event with Holiday Bar, and that was a good thing to get everyone back together. But we're planning aggressively for next year with as much as we can do this far out. But we're booking bands. We're kind of waiting to see what days we want to do things on. We're trying to explore weekends or midweek. So I'm happy to keep working on that. But yeah, other than that, just keeping involved with the community. And I chose to run for city commissioner, so that's kind of eating up a lot of my time. But it's nice to meet people.
Yeah, it's a busy year for you. We should mention that as well. Steve Tippy, Director of Operations for Fans of Valleyfield. Again, it's fansofvalleyfield.org. Shout out to your partner, Paul Sotiziak. Paul, next time, come on in here and stay out of the hospitals for at least all of 2027. That's the goal. Steve, thanks for being here.
Thanks always, Phil.
You've been listening to WYCE's and watching WYCE's Community Closeup, our weekly public affairs program produced right here at the Grand Rapids Community Media Center. I'm WYCE Station Manager Phil Tower. We'll see you next time.